This bed sucks.
And this bed sucks.
Oh, and this bed really sucks.
But why? Why are so many RV mattresses so terrible, basically? My name's Josh the RV Nerd, this is Bish's RV, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. Sometimes not everything is all sunshine and roses. Every now and then we don't mind having a less flowery conversation. That's what I wanna get into. I wanna discuss why I think RV mattresses, for the most part, just aren't fantastic, even until you get up into that like bigger, higher dollar fifth wheel series or something like that. You don't tend to see better bedding put in most RVs. But why is that? What can you do about it? And then maybe we'll get into discussing a couple ideas that perhaps we should suggest the RV industry adopt in the future. Let's get going. And I first want to begin by just mentioning that, you're looking at specific brands here in the background right now, but this video is not targeted at any one manufacturer. Really, it seems to be something that the entire industry, by and large, is guilty of almost across the board with very, very precious few exceptions. Having been in the business a while, kind of looking at things and having talked to a lot of customers, I think I have an idea of what got us here. Now, one of the short answers to this that I don't like, but I think if we're being fair, we can all acknowledge is kind of hard to argue with, is the answer here is consumer buying patterns. At the end of the day, the reason any manufacturer does or doesn't do something is because that's what helps the RV sell. If it doesn't help the RV sell, they just don't tend to do it. I don't like that, but I think we can all acknowledge that's pretty true. And I think one of the other major factors we have to acknowledge in this discussion to really approach it intelligently is to acknowledge the fact that there is no correct mattress. There is no way they can put in a mattress that works for everybody. Because I don't think it matters how thick or how thin or how soft or how firm a mattress is. Is it one of these short camp queens that, to be fair, I think 99% of people will agree we are not fans of the short beds. Or if it's a long queen, or if it's a king, or if it's some weird Olympic-sized queen like some of these things have. There's no single mattress that's just going to work for everybody. Frankly, myself and my wife are a really good example of that. And I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm freezing my face off and can't feel my little fingertips out here to get this footage for you and explain this very common question that we get. That's the kind of effort we like to go through for you. So when you're ready, maybe remember that and give us a call when you're thinking about swapping around or updating or jumping into the industry. Anyway, just isolating my own household, just myself and my wife, 2 adults. We cannot agree on one single mattress that works for both of us. We ended up going to the route of getting like a Sleep Number bed, which I still can't believe how much money I basically paid for an air mattress. When I say it out loud, I feel like, am I punked? Is somebody just taking me for a ride? And whatever, money spent. We are sleeping better for what it's worth. I'm not paid by Sleep Number. Not that I would be opposed to it, guys, but no, neither here nor there. I don't take money for endorsements. What I was getting at is we found out our sleep numbers are at least 35 apart. For those of you who aren't familiar, basically that means that I like to sleep on something equivalent to a park bench, and she's the princess and the pea. She likes a nice soft bed, and she can feel things through it. There is, in just one household, there's absolutely no way manufacturers could use one mattress that satisfies everybody. So what do they end up doing instead? Well, if you think back to what I said earlier about why a manufacturer does or doesn't do anything, it's whether it does or doesn't help the sale of the RV. When, let's say you have 2 manufacturers who are making roughly the same floor plan, they're head-to-head competitors, and one spends a chunk more money on a mattress, but there's no guarantee that you're going to like that. That, in a sense, makes their RVs less likely to be purchased, to be sold. As a result, unfortunately, bedding tends to be one of those things that I dislike that I'm saying this, but again, I'm just being real about it. It almost tends to be a race to the bottom in most cases, where they're effectively giving you a placeholder, where you have the not illusion of a complete bedroom set or something like that, but you know, a basic placeholder, something that maybe isn't fancy, maybe isn't amazing, maybe that won't please everybody, but at the very least helps control costs to make the RV more accessible to more people. Now again, I don't exactly like that. I also don't personally foresee that changing in the near future. So the question is, you know, what can you do about it? Well, I think the first and one of the most obvious answers, it's inexpensive, it's lightweight, it's easy, is you just get some kind of foam mattress topper like this thing right here. These things, what's nice about this is you can cut them to virtually any size. So, you know, if you have a Camp Queen mattress or something like that, sometimes finding other than residential sized bedding can be a little bit of a trick. Although if you start searching online, there are just so many more outlets and sources that as RVing has become more popular, there's just a ton of different bedding sources. And do me a favor, if you have purchased an irregularly sized RV mattress, would you leave a comment with a link showing where you got that? And maybe we can help some other people out who are looking for that and don't know where to turn to. And like I was saying, you can just cut these down to size. And I get that edge looks a little bit uglier than like a laser cut edge that you see over here. But you're going to just wrap this up in like a fitted sheet or something like that. You're not really going to see it. That's actually another handy thing in relation to Camp Queen beds with the RV foam toppers, is that it will tend to thicken up the space that a normal bed sheet is using, and a lot of times it can make more standard size bed sheets fit a Camp Queen more easily. Another little handy thing for that is there's these little like corner straps that you can get, almost like suspenders, you know, that you attach to the corners of a bed sheet to help keep it wrapped around a more irregularly sized mattress. So it's a little pro tip for you there from your Uncle Josh. Now, one of the other ways these can be really beneficial is the fact that although people don't seem to talk about this very often, you can just double them up if you want to. You know, if you really want to have that extra thick kind of pillow top kind of feeling, but you don't want to go spending an arm and a leg on a mattress that you're only using a couple times a year if you're a casual camper and not like a seasonal or full-time or something like that, this is, again, a good way to get you through an extended weekend without, you know, going back to work Monday and having a giant crick in your neck. Obviously here, I've just taken the one and I folded it over for demonstrational purposes, but I think you get what I'm saying. And apparently I can't say the word demonstrational without sounding like I'm drunk. Hello, HR? Yeah, this is Josh. No, I haven't been drinking again. Yes, I just really am that bad with words. I don't know. I don't know why they keep watching me. Now, another option, of course, is we can always just swap out the mattress entirely. So if the flowery blue backbreaker death wafer isn't quite your speed, you could always do something like this and swap it out with, say, like a memory foam or a pillow top or whatever works for you, something that feels more comfortable to you. The one thing I want to tell you is before you do that, make sure you measure your original mattress, because if you have a Camp Queen bed, for instance, and try to go get a True Queen, well, then you could end up in a situation like this, where you have a bed base, the decking here is sized for a Camp Queen, but now you have a True Queen mattress that's sticking off the end of it. Although, it is kind of fun down here. It's sort of like playing fort when you're a kid. But if you don't think about this, if you're not aware of it, you try to sit on the end of the bed and sort of, here's what can happen. I do my own stunts. I'm okay. So, now that I'm getting my breath back, I would like to kind of open up the floor to you guys. What kind of feedback do you have for manufacturers? How do you think this could be done better? You know, what is a good, viable, real-world, mass production, large volume solution that could work? One of the ideas that a lot of people have suggested is ship these things with no mattresses. I can definitely understand the logic of that. You're saving the money, which works, you know, it satisfies the manufacturer's goals, and it allows you to pick your own thing. But here's why I personally don't see that happening. But again, if that's your idea, feel free to leave that comment in there, and I'd love to hear from you. Because it's my personal opinion that if you walked up to a brand new RV you walked in the door and you looked over and you saw something like this, I don't think people would be too awfully impressed. In fact, I think people would look at this and I think that they would go, wow, this has got to be cheap. They didn't even put a mattress in it. I mean, there's not even a mattress with no sheet there. There's absolutely nothing here. I wonder what other corners they cut. I think seeing something like this, an object that the RV needs, you know, a bed missing in the new RV market, sends up too many alarms for people to feel comfortable enough to purchase the RV. Now, if I'm wrong about that, and if you think this is the way to go, again, definitely sound off. Leave a comment, voice your opinion, because I don't think this whole situation is going to change unless there's a major shift in the way consumers tend to look at things. Now, that can happen. I've seen entire floor plans that were once extremely popular, no longer popular. Things change over time, you know? Again, what does or doesn't sell is going to be the reason a manufacturer does anything. Are you cool with still purchasing an RV like this? If you are, great, let us know. If you look at this, you're like, okay, I kind of see your point. Let me know kind of that too. Like I said, short of that, you know, this is something I don't see changing in the near future, and good Lord, it is cold. I'm gonna go warm my hands up. So I hope you found this informative, enlightening. I know my chiropractor will probably find it financially beneficial, getting my back straightened out after I slipped off the end of that bed there. Hopefully you catch yourself a little bit better than I did. You know, and if you appreciate the candor and the open discussion and acknowledging how not everything is always the best and the most awesome, hit our, the like button, subscribe to our videos, catch more stuff coming out. We got a huge library of stuff for you. And if there's some other topics you'd like to hear about, leave me a note. I can't promise I can get to do everything. I'm just one nerdy boy here in the Midwest, freezing my face off getting you this stuff. And I'll do my best to get to everything else. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.